Hey guys, it's Amy and Blake, and we're coming at you with a surgery day video. I got this idea from Melissa Collins, who I follow on YouTube. She had her surgery a couple days after me, and it's just to go through like what happened the day of surgery and maybe a couple days post-op at home. I know I'm 4 months out, but hey, it's better than not getting a video at all, right? So let's get started. Like I say in all my videos, I had my VSG surgery on January 6th of 2015 at Carl Foundation Hospital in Urbana, Illinois. My doctor is Dr. Rowitz, and he's amazing. So yeah, I had to be there at 5:30. And kind of a backstory, like day before, we got hit with a snowstorm. So we ended up staying in Urbana that night because we live 45 minutes from the hospital, which is the same one we work at. So we just ended up getting a hotel room and staying the night there. I think we got, 2 to 3 inches, something like that.
Yeah, decent amount.
Yeah, so it was nice just to be down the road from the hospital. Got there about 5:25 to one-day surgery. Blake thought he was all cool, using his badge to get us in faster, and took me to the wrong place. So, we did make it to the waiting room for one-day surgery, got checked in. They give you a little pager like they do at the restaurant. And I was shocked at how many people were there at 5:30 in the morning. I would say there was like 10 patients there, which is crazy. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one here. So as the waiting went on, I was getting more nervous because people were getting called back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real. I'm having surgery today. And then I was like waiting because I was the only one out there, and it was like 20 minutes since they called the last person. So I'm like, what's going on? Well, then they finally called me back. Blake had to wait there while they got me all prepped, put me in my awesome hospital gown, which I looked oh so sexy. And I did post a picture of my, non-slip yellow hospital socks. They were so cute.
Tom Cruise with those socks.
For sure, I could do some sliding. So got me all prepped for that, asked me questions, got the IV in so they could get that started. And then Blake was able to come back, and I was excited to see him. I was also excited because that was the first surgery of the day. So I'm like, woohoo, my doctor's not going to be tired. He's going to be ready for the day. So that was nice to know. And then the anesthesiologist came in and talked to us. I've had surgery before, but it was like 7th grade, so I don't really remember much. So I was still kind of scared, like when he was going over things, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a tube down my throat. And so that was scary, but I was ready. I was still kind of nervous after he had came in. And Dr. Rhodes came in too, didn't he? No, he didn't come in? I guess
no,
not.
He didn't come in.
No, the nurse came in and went, told Blake, like, I'll be coming out to the waiting room and letting, giving you updates on how she's doing and things like that. And then the nurse came in and was like, I'm going to give you a happy shot. And I'm like, a happy shot? Like, because my nerves were starting to settle in. Like, I'm, getting ready to go into surgery, getting nervous. And, like, once she put that in, I swear, she was like, it feels like you just drank, like, 21 beers, doesn't it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, is this how it's supposed to feel? Because I'm feeling good now. I did.
Really good, guys.
I did. I'm like, wow, I feel drunk. And so I, okay, I'm more ready to go in. Blake and I kissed him goodbye. They started wheeling me in. I had my little sexy hairnet on. And they kept asking me, are you cold? Are you cold? And I'm like, no, I'm hot, because I was like nervous. And of course, when I get in there, it's freezing. So I'm thinking, why didn't you give me a couple extra blankets anyway? Because obviously it's going to be cold in there. But I would say, like, right as they were wheeling me in is when I was, like, almost about to say no. Like, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. Like, this isn't what I want. Like, I think in my head it was just I'm going through surgery. I'm going to be knocked out. Like, all those things were going through my head, and I was just like, I don't think I can do it. But I went in, and, they got me transferred to the table. And I remember the nurse being like, now I have to strap you down because it's law, so that you don't fall off. I'm like, okay. And then here I am, not remembering having surgery, I guess. And they have the mask over, and I'm like, okay, this is just oxygen. And they're like, just keep breathing it in. And I'm like, okay. Like, this is good air. And then I don't remember anything else. Because that was anesthesia, duh. So, I was knocked out. So pretty much now, I'm in surgery. So it's up to Blake now to describe what happened while I was in surgery.
Which, nothing really happened after you went back in. I sat around, waited for a couple hours. Then the nurse came out and said, "Oh, the surgery started. It's going good so far. I'll come back here, see you in a little bit." Those guys going. She came back again a couple more hours later, probably about 2.5. Said the surgery went great. Now she's in recovery. Dr. Rhodes will come out and see you here soon. So I waited a couple more hours. And I got back to a little private room, and Dr. Rose called me, told me everything went great, surgery went great, and she was in recovery, and I could go see her here in about an hour when she's on the main floor. She go stay out for the next couple of days.
And I remember being in recovery. Like, I remember waking up, and they said surgery was going to last how long? I
think 2 to 3 hours.
And I think it was 2. Was it 2?
Yeah, you only took like 2 hours.
And at recovery, it was like an hour, I think. But I remember like waking up and the nurse being like, "Do you feel nauseous?" And I, was like, "Yeah." And I didn't know this, but she took an antiseptic wipe and just like put it under my nose, and it went away. I was like, "That's a nice tip to have." Like, so I would say it was like maybe 30 minutes after that is when I went up to my room, and I vaguely remember that trip. I remember the nurse being like, "Oh, I'm not a good driver. I hope I don't run you into any walls." I'm like, "Oh, great." But like, it's so funny the things you remember when you're in and out like that. Luckily, I had a private room, which was super nice.
Which is really rare.
Really rare. But that was super nice to have. Once they got me settled, I do remember complaining of chest pain, which is probably just from the gas, but they did do a chest x-ray immediately. They had them come up and do it. Of course, that was fine. It was just the gas. And then shortly, like a few hours later, I think it was gone. Like, I don't think it was bothering me. And about that time is when I got up. In between that time, though, like, I was sleeping for an hour, and then I'd like wake up for an hour, and then I'd go back to sleep for an hour. It was always an hour. Like, I felt like I was always looking at the clock, and I'm like, okay, but I sleep for an hour, and then I'm awake for an hour. Like, this is weird. But they were short, like, some texts, so I wasn't getting up as soon as I probably should have. But I did get up and get moved to a chair, and that felt better. I know I posted that picture for you guys to see in all my bloatedness. Like, I was huge, I felt like. And then, so Blake was there. Did your mom come up the first night? She came up the first night.
Yeah, the first night she goes to dinner.
And that was the time that I finally got up and, like, walked the halls for a little bit, which felt good. I wasn't in a lot of pain, I don't think. I did have a pain pump, which was nice. Press that button, I'm like, yeah. So that first night was okay. If you guys remember, or if you haven't seen, in my, I think it was like my pre-op video is when I got diagnosed with diabetes at my pre-op physical. So like, I wasn't obviously controlling it because they didn't know I had it. So while I was in the hospital, they were coming in, I think it was every 2 hours.
Yeah.
And giving me, checking my sugars and then giving me metformin. I'm like, ugh. So that stunk. But I was still sleeping like for an hour and then waking up every hour. Then the next day, I sent him to work, considering it was in the same building, and I was just going to be laying up there. I had a couple nurses from my department come see me. I went down. So I guess I should back up just a little bit. So I wasn't able to have anything that first day of surgery. And then the next day, that morning, they send you down to get your upper to make sure, there's no leaking or anything. And then after that is when I could start having my liquids. I think I was so excited for that because I was just like using the little sponges to get my mouth wet. I'm like, oh. So I was able to, look off the menu. I think I really stuck with just Crystal Light. I tried a popsicle. Again, nothing sounded good. I was just doing it to get something in my body. They took the pain pump away. And I remember being in, like, I think it happened at night or maybe the next day. They gave me, was it a liquid type of pain med? And I immediately threw it back up.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
like, it was just immediate. So that did not help me at all. And she was like, oh, that's no good. I'm like, yeah. So, let's see. Second night, you and your mom came back up. I'm really thankful for my mother-in-law coming up and seeing me. TMI, but still hadn't been to the bathroom, so I was kind of nervous because I was supposed to leave the next day. So I had surgery on a Tuesday, and I left Thursday afternoon. And then right as we were leaving, it kicked in. So I was excited because I'm like, woohoo, they're not going to say anything. You know what, though? People want to know, so it's okay. So, let's see. Oh, I had to give myself I can't remember what it's called now. It was to prevent blood clots. The shot. And I'm sorry, guys. I cannot remember what it's called. And I was super scared. Like, she did the first one and it showed me, so I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then when I got home, it wasn't too bad. Like, I was able to do it every day. But it did suck. I had like a ton of bruising. I ended up with 6 incisions.
I think so.
I took a picture. I need to take a new picture for you guys and show you because they look totally different. The biggest one where they took out my stomach on my left side has healed like amazing. Like you can barely see it. So we left Thursday. I took a shower Thursday morning. Blake helped me. Like I said, they were short techs up there that day or that week I was up there. So luckily I had Blake to help walk me around. Finally I was like, can my husband just walk me around? Because I need to get my walking in. And then he helped me get my shower. And then we were discharged. And I'm like, woo! We get to go home. Of course it was still snowy and nasty and cold. I remember, when I got in the car, you can go ahead. I won't tell your part.
I felt, because, we got in the car, I said it was winter, so it was freezing, and I felt so awful because she was just shivering so bad on the way home, and I was like, oh my God.
That's something new. I think I might have talked in a video too, but I am always cold now, which is, a total opposite of what I always was. I mean, I have a fan at my desk, so to be cold all the time and have to wear a jacket is something different for me. So he says I was shivering, but plus the car hadn't had time to warm up.
Yeah,
and it was very cold out. So I get in the car, we get down the road, and I think I passed out. So I passed out for that. You passed
out within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that 45-minute drive I was passed out the whole time. Got home, kind of got settled. Luckily we had just got a new heating blanket for Christmas from his mom, so I was like, oh, turn that on and get it started. So we have that. And it was pretty, I wasn't in pain. I didn't really feel like it.
That first day you're home, you're still under anesthesia.
True. It was wearing off. Like, I could tell it was wearing off. Yeah. They did give me Norco to take. I'm not a big pain person. I feel like my pain tolerance is pretty high. Like, I feel like I can take some pain. But I was taking those. I think the worst part for me is not being able to sleep on my side or my stomach. Oh, that was awful. Like, we have 2 body pillows, and that was not happening. So I feel like I wasn't getting a lot of sleep that first week or so. Like, I even tried to sleep in the recliner, and that wasn't happening. So FYI, you will not be able to sleep on your side or stomach. And sleeping on my back, no way. That was not happening either. So that was pretty awful. That was pretty bad. Again, so they want you to up and walking, obviously, to prevent blood clots. But since it was snowing, it's kind of hard to be out. So our living room is long. So I was just walking that back and forth. But I did not want blood clots. I think that was a big fear. Yeah. I didn't want the blood clots. No, I didn't want to have that issue. So that first week was pretty good. I was forcing myself to eat. Like, I just wasn't hungry. And it was like a medicine cup. Like, I brought some home. And that's what I would put my yogurt in. So
that was so crazy. Just seeing you hold this little thing, and like you had 2 bites and you were full, and you didn't even finish the cup. It was crazy. I would believe it, if I could talk. That is the hardest part. Like, not being hungry, number one, and then it's. Luckily it's so small, but then I felt bad because, like, I still couldn't finish that. And, when your doctor tells you need to be getting in, this much and this much, but I can't. So, like, I was just doing as much as I could. So, and, again, TMI, but I was still pretty, regular with my bowels and things, like, because I know that's a big fear for some people. And some people do get constipated and TMI, and Blake's probably like, oh my gosh, I won't talk about this. But it's true, and I know people ask. But luckily,
you know, I kept a log of all that so that when I went to my 2-week follow, I'm like, I've been regular. This is what I've been doing. I've been walking like this. You know,
it was a crapper log.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. Okay, but and it had, you know, my shakes I was trying to get in. I was doing the Premier Protein, and if you guys have done those, you know that they're 30 grams for one. So there were times I could only drink half. So I was only drinking like a full one a day. And they're like, oh, you need to get more in. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I can't force myself. Like, it's so weird now to be like, I have to force myself. When I'm pretty sure before, like, I would force stuff down. Like, even if I wasn't hungry, I'd be like, oh, but it sounds so good. Yeah. So, like, to be wanting, like, having to force and not wanting to, I think is something different. And I know I've talked about in previous videos, like, having the actual fulfilling now is something that is totally different. Before I never had that. Like,
which is something I don't have. I'm still struggling with that, but it's slowly getting better.
Like I said, he's lost almost 40 pounds, guys, since January. He needs a round of applause. Yay. I'm very proud of him and continuing. And I would say, and I've said in my videos, have a great support system for before and after surgery because it will help you tremendously. So then the second week I had my post-op appointment that Thursday. Guys, and I am so sorry, but I can't remember how much I lost. I think it was 23 pounds maybe. I
don't remember for sure.
And then that's when I hit my stall, and I'm like, are you serious? I'm 2 weeks out of surgery. Actually, it was 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks.
It was 3 weeks post-op. I hit my first stall, and then it lasted for 3 weeks. And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And the doctor's like, that's normal. I'm like, well, I think it sucks. But it makes sense because your body's like trying to adjust to what just happened. So that's
such
crazy.
a huge change in that short of time is
for
hard
sure
to adjust, I would think.
But overall, like I said, though, when I was in surgery, he said everything went great. I didn't have, now I can't even think about it, so I don't even know why I brought it up. Hernia? No, not a hernia. Something. But I didn't have that, so it was just the sleeve that he went in and did. I told Blake, I'm like, man, I wish I would have had him take a picture of my stomach. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Like, I've seen some people are like, I want you to take a picture of my stomach when it comes out. But I would say it's been great overall, and I mean, I can't even really tell I had surgery. I mean, I don't have any pain or anything now, and that was probably 3 weeks out. I was like, oh, I'm good now. I would say 3 weeks when I started working out again. I did have to write the nurse. I forgot. I did have to email her because I was having some pain where this bigger incision is, and I'm like, am I doing too much? And she just told me to walk for the next 2 weeks. So I was like, seriously? But I did it, and then that pain went away. And I mean, I've got some guns. I've got extra skin. But I mean, if you look, you can tell. I feel like
your shoulders have gone like not broader, but like a little more.
Yeah. And
defined. That's
one thing too I preach about is make sure you're working out because that goes hand in hand with the surgery. Again, I had the surgery as a tool. It wasn't for me to be like, oh, I'm going to have surgery and I'm going to have to do nothing. Like, I can just do whatever. Totally not the attitude I went in with. And I work out and I stay on. Go ahead.
I think it's important that it wasn't not just cardio. You also need a lot of strength training so you don't. So if you just do cardio, then you just have even more extra skin. But if you do strength, I feel you're going to tighten your skin more too.
I hope so. Because I have bat wings right now. And insurance don't cover those. So that's one thing I've worked on is strength and cardio. And I think that it's helped me a lot to keep continuing to lose. And like I've said, I am liking the slow, continuously losing weight instead of maybe losing at a fast rate and then stalling or losing too much and then having all this extra skin and it has nowhere to go. Yeah. So I think losing at the slow rate I'm okay with for now as much as possible. So I hope this video has helped. I know we're kind of all over the place, but I know Melissa's video, you know, I'd already had surgery, but I have 2 girls that are getting ready to, and anything that can help them understand what, you know, to expect while going into surgery, I hope that could help. So I know you guys haven't seen Blake in a while. It's been a while.
Everybody.
Oh, I think it was when I said I got approved. Was it when you were in the last video and I was like, oh my gosh, get out my video.
I was one of your cooking videos too for recommended.
Oh yeah.
The first one.
I need to upload. I have some. Anyways, it's getting off topic. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and comment below if you have any questions, concerns, or you know, if you're getting ready to have surgery and you have a question, or you know, your spouse has a question for little Blake over here. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you later. Love ya. Bye.
Bye.